Hello, friends. It is cold outside. I woke up to 13 degrees this morning, and that's Fahrenheit. For those of you in the United States, you know what I'm talking about. But I've just decided that I'm going to sit at my desk and try to stay warm today. So I'm digging out some archival ink because I have a little project in mind. But first I want to use up some stickers. I have been going through things in my stash that I haven't used for a long time. These are some old cards from Hero Arts, and so I'm going to cut down some paper just to do a panel for the front. I'm going to use up some stickers from Reminisce and make a couple of holiday Thanksgiving cards because, you know, this time of year in the U.S., we celebrate Thanksgiving. Well, in my family, what we celebrate is Thanksmas. That's kind of a combination of the whole season between Christmas and Thanksgiving. We celebrate anytime this time of year because it's whenever my friends and family can get together. So we're not so particular about the day as the celebration and being with loved ones. So I'm going to glue this panel down on the front. These are nothing special. It's just using up your stash. And I encourage you to go look in your things. You know, these are old stickers that I've had for a very long time. I do not want to store them any longer. So I'm going to make somebody happy. I'm going to put this in the mail to somebody and make them smile. And just wish them a wonderful Thanksgiving. I can include some special things if it's going to an arty friend so that they've got something that they can play with. And making a little banner here that the scarecrow is holding up. This little guy is like the scarecrows out in the field. Use another sticker for my sentiment inside. And I can use these up pretty well, just getting my card together. So if you have other things that you've stamped and colored, you know, cut them out, put them on the front of a card. I'm just making some faux wood grain on this white paper with my ink by swatching it back and forth. And then I'll glue that down, add some more stickers, and we will have another card for Turkey Day. There's a big fat turkey. That's usually what we serve on Thanksgiving. And some pumpkin patch stickers and, you know, pumpkin pie, turkey. They're all very traditional this time of year. So in just a matter of a couple of minutes, I've got some cards that I can send to make people happy. Now, a friend of mine had sent me some things in the mail this week, and I found these things in my stash. They are shrink plastic. I didn't even know they were shrink plastic until I got them out of the package. I thought they were like clear for shaker cards. Well, I guess you could use them for shaker cards if you wanted to, but these ornaments my friend had sent me, and I thought, well, I'm gonna try to use one of these on an ornament. So I found out very quickly that you can't just shrink a piece of it because you know how shrink plastic just all curls up into a little bitty piece. Well, part of this is that it's in a band, and when you put it around something like a jar or a candle or something like that, it shrinks down to the size of the piece that you're putting it on. Now, on the front of the packaging, it does give you some dimensions you're supposed to use. Of course, I didn't read the packaging until after I'd played because that's the way I roll. And I'm getting out some of these Stampers Anonymous stamps. These are designs by Tim Holtz that are in my collection. I have mixed media stamps and wallpaper and wood grain and ledger stamps that I thought would be fun to use with these to add a little texture to my background. I am using archival ink because that's a permanent ink, and I don't want this, you know, if it ever got wet or something coming off on somebody. So I'm using a permanent archival ink, and I'm just distressing and adding color to these wooden ornaments. I think my friend got them from Amazon, and I'll try to find a link for you where you can find them if you're interested in making some wooden ornaments. But I was thinking, you know, I've gotten shrink plastic to do baskets and things with from the dollar store before. And now that I'm doing this with the shrink plastic, I'm thinking, well, I need to go to the dollar store and see if they have any of those bags that you can shrink up. And I could probably stamp on them and do all kinds of things. So, you know, don't be surprised if in the future you see me coming out with a video with some shrink plastic from the dollar store and playing around. Or, you know, maybe you can do it and tag me and let me know how it worked for you. So I'm getting some texture on that wooden piece and using the colors. These blues and browns and grays are what I want to work with because that's kind of the colors that are in the imagery on the shrink plastic. These are from Studio Light, and I don't even know if they carry them anymore. If they do, I'll try to put a link up for that also. But you can see their sleeves, and they open up, and then you can slip it right over what you're doing. So like if you had a jar with some spices or something and you wanted to give it at the holiday time, or suppose you made a soup mix or something, these would be fun to put on something like that. So here I am being foolish and cutting it down, thinking that, oh, I can shrink that right on the front. Well, no, you can't, because you know what shrink plastic does? It just curls all up. I thought I could tape it down well enough and it would stay put. No, that does not work. So learn from my mistakes. You know, I typically do this. I make all the mistakes there are in the world, and you see how that just curled all up and rolled into a little bitty ball, and it's hot, and I cannot unroll it, and I cannot get it flattened back out again. So that was not the way to do that. So yeah, I'm gonna try it again with the sleeve, and this time I'm going to use the whole sleeve over this and shrink it from the edge and see if I can get a little bit better. It still wants to wrinkle some, and so I'm thinking, well, I need to flatten that out. So I'm going to get something flat to put on top of that to try to flatten that out. And, you know, I don't know if Studio Light has some directions on their website as to how they do this and get a nice flat surface. I'm heating the plastic once again, and I'm going to come back with an ornament and push on it. And that should help flatten it out a bit. And it does. It does flatten that out. So let's try it one more time, see if I can get it any better. You know, sometimes you have to fiddle with these things to see how a product works. And I thought, well, I've got this plastic. Could I put it over something like that? And yes, I think I could put it over something like that, some packaging, and shrink it down. But I'm still trying to shrink that one extra piece, and nope, it's not gonna work on there. So I don't know if maybe I glued it to something first. It might melt on the front. I don't know. But I'm running out of these shrink sleeves, and so I want to get a couple of ornaments done and make them pretty so that you can see how this all works. So I'm going to distress the edges, add some color in the blues and grays and browns, add some more stamping because I like the look of that. And then I will add another shrink sleeve. So if you're enjoying this video and you like these little snippet type of videos, I do have a whole playlist, and I will try to put that at the end of the video in case you want to watch some more of this sort of stuff. If you're new to my channel and you have not already, please consider subscribing, clicking the bell for notifications so that you know when new content is available, so that YouTube knows that this content is valuable to you, and so that others will be able to find this video. It helps the algorithm. So here we go. I've got another one on there. I'm going to shrink it down. You can see how it kind of wrinkles a little bit. So I'm going to have to flatten that one out also. Flip it over, flatten out the other side. And they don't shrink evenly all the way around, but that's okay. I mean, it's a handmade ornament, right? It's probably for some friend or family who's going to look at that and say, "Oh, how did you do that?" Because that's what I get a lot from people is, "How did you do that?" And we'll give it a try. So the very last one, this one I'm going to do in browns and some stamping for texture. Once again, these are mixed media stamps from Tim Holtz and Stampers Anonymous. I will put some links in the description box if you like these. I really do enjoy using these rubber stamps. I like red rubber stamps over any other kind of stamp. They hold up. They can take the heat. You can melt plastic right on top of them. And maybe that's what I should have done. I don't know. So there's the last shrink sleeve. Going to put that on there. Try shrinking that down. Here we go again. It is crinkling all up. Put some pressure on that to flatten it. And there we are. So thanks everybody. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you are starting to think about Christmas and maybe having a homemade holiday instead of purchasing a lot of things. It is the season of giving, so make it handmade giving. Thanks everybody. I enjoy spending time with you, and I will see you again soon. Love, peace, and happiness to all of you. Happy holidays. Bye for now.